Did the something happened to my sustainer? I have to like fix that later on. Double check. Check. Huh. There we go. There we go. All right, so we're all set now. I think we are. Ah, it's so warm out. We're starting to really heat things up. Okay, make sure you stretch. Stretching is so important. Even if you don't do exercise regularly, at least make sure that you're stretching and staying flexible. That's so important. That is like the bare minimum that you gotta try and do to keep your body from atrophying. Okay. Hey there, heroes! My name is Hero Girl. I'm your friendly local neighborhood hero tuber. This is The Daily Grind. Today is May 11th, 2026, on a Monday. That time of the day where we come on and we grind our dailies. I'm trying out a new schedule thing today where I spend some time on Monday making breakfast wraps for my husband. We realized that he gets takeout every day for breakfast because that's just what's convenient. He doesn't really cook at all. And so we were talking about our budget, and I realized, well, what if I just made breakfast wraps for you? And we crunched the numbers. It saves us quite a bit of money over the course of a year. Like I think it was a little over 1,000 at least. Still trying to get like a handle on the routine and the flavor and everything, but I think today worked out. I think today finally worked out. Got like 500 grams of ground beef that we make, 10 eggs worth of scrambled eggs, shred just like half a package of cheddar. I need to actually like figure out how many grams that probably is. I'll take a look next time I look at the package. Next time I buy some cheddar, but it uses like half a supply of cheddar, which is great because we were actually wasting quite a bit of cheddar just from like me not using cheddar regularly, but always wanting to have cheddar on hand. And I would much rather buy a stick of cheddar every week, knowing that it's getting used. Like you mix all that together, and then you add in some HP steak sauce, which I don't know if there's an equivalent in the States. I don't remember ever hearing about this brand before when I lived in Ohio. But it's the sauce. It's the sauce. This sauce works out so good. I tried some and I was like, oh wait, actually, just like you mix in a cup's worth, or not a cup's worth, no, half a cup. Mix in half a cup of the sauce. That's plenty. Enough to like give it a nice moist texture, and then to like to top it off, you add half of a hash brown patty, freshly baked and crisp into each of them. Roll them up. You put two to like a sandwich bag, so like a total of 10 wraps. And then I store them away in the little drawer in our fridge. And my husband, when he wakes up, he can grab one of those bags, eat them up, eat them on the way to work when he takes the public transit. And it's gonna take me like at least 2 hours every Monday to do if I include doing the dishes. It's like an hour's worth of prep and cooking. Half an hour of assembly, half an hour of cleanup, roughly speaking. Which, like, damn, that's a good, you know, 36 $40 of labor. Doing that every week, 52 weeks a year, 40 by 52. That's like what, 200 something, 200 something dollars of labor a year, plus the cost of materials, and yet we're still saving money. I swear to God, it's not economically viable to be single in this economy. It just isn't. This is the real reason why everyone's getting into a polycule, because they can't afford life otherwise. Lucky, thank you so much for the biddies. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, Kellen, thank you so much for dropping the lurk. All right, let's get down to brass tacks. It's Monday, which means that we got a fresh set of dailies that we need to take care of. Fortunately for us, it's just cast blue shit. Just cast blue shit all day. I've got like a few blue decks that I'm going to be working on. I'm still trying to make the Questus deck work. We've got Matoya as a good old standby. I've got some testing to do with Ultimisia and also Umizawa, I think. This was the old Coastal Piracy deck that Ultimisia was. I love having just like a bunch of little dudes that hit and then draw cards. So maybe this is actually supposed to be Razilax. But Umizawa makes it so that way the creatures can't be blocked. I'll give that a try. It's not like I was casting Ultimisia in the first place. One of these days, they're going to add ranked brawl to the either brawl or ranked. One of the two. Let's try that Coastal Piracy deck. Oh, hold on. I just realized that Music Bee isn't playing. There we go. There's Music. There we go. I thought something was... I do actually have to... Just a couple of settings, but... For now, we have our Music Bee. Which means we didn't hear any of the Valhalla music to start with. They have the sun. This should be an alright hand. Lead off on Spectro Sailor. We're gonna have to find a way to deal with Heliod. Heliod gives a counter to any creature whenever they gain life. Give your second main phase of this creature's tap, put a flying lifelink or +1/+1 on it. And if this creature or another creature controlled dies, if it counters, put those creatures at the one target creature. Yeah, it's a... Reluctant Role Model is a pretty... Alright, so we need to draw cards like immediately ASAP. Creature enters with a counter. Makes it small. Whenever a counter. Remove a counter for this creature. That's not what we tried for. Like, we are actually just gonna get our face punched in. Yep, never mind. That's trapped in the screen, so goodbye, Spectral Sailor. Goodbye, Curiosity. On the one hand, we did slow down the Heliod, and we still got a card out of it. Now they get a card out of their Reluctant Role Model. They could make it flying, so that way it blocks. No, they're gonna go life. This is remove a counter from this. I can play the cat and then disturb the cat. Don't normally disturb the cat's kids. By the way, I'm trying out this new portrait pull. Oh yeah, we're gonna get our teeth kicked in now because Heliod comes down. Heliod's gonna be a creature. That's gonna gain extra life, which means Heliod's gonna make things bigger. And then the lifelink is gonna completely undo any of the aggro that we do, so that's now something to think about. And also, every time it gets bigger. I hate Heliod. I hate Heliod so much. I hate that one of my favorite archetypes, which is Soul Sisters, now has to deal with having an absolute fucking asshole douchebag prick nozzle of a character as like one of the headlines of the deck. Tell me how you real feel, hero. Okay, we gotta do this if we want any chance of out there. Force Negation's not bad. I can play Malcolm to try and dig further, but I think we're just literally gonna get stomped into the ground here. Let those feelings out? I mean, sometimes. See, I can get away with that opinion because I don't think anyone's going to dispute the fact that Heliod is an absolute douche nozzle. Like, the dude is literally all the worst aspects of Zeus of mythology. Okay, that's gonna be like what, 11? Just like straight to the face. I needed. What did I need? I needed more interaction a lot sooner. I can at least use Force Negation effect to keep Malcolm in play, but that is unfortunately. I mean, I guess if they ever left the Reluctant Role Model back, it's whatever. Let's see. I could drop a few blocker, get in the way. I'll need at least one blue card. Got 5 available. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. To like throw away. One, 2, 2, 1. I don't need to play like everything out. Nope. Like, I'm trying to think, and I just can't imagine a scenario where I manage to survive this if they get either the Veteran or the Sanctifier. If they get them both up to like 5, then that's a problem. Yeah, no, I don't think that's... Okay, yeah, we'll just go ahead and concede there. Got our fucking teeth kicked in. If that was literally any other character... Okay, maybe not literally any other character, but like... If it was just like, you know, anyone I had significantly less strong feelings for, I would be playing the shit out of that deck, I tell you what. Heliod is forever on my shit list. And not even like the fun way, like I did this with Nahiri. Like, I love Nahiri, but I also have like roleplay feelings towards Nahiri, where it's like, you fucked up my favorite world. You fucked up my favorite world. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you for that. Got days and a Mythic Sanctuary. Able to. This isn't what I would exactly call classic, like, this is not a great hand, but I've got Tetsuo Umezawa, and this does not increase power. Boop. Lamau! Alright, great. We have an island. Is it worth playing the Mystic Sanctuary anyway? I think it is, actually. I think for tempo reasons, I have to play it out. And then next turn, I can go Tetsuo, and then we can talk about, like, equipping her... Tetsuko? Tetsuko. Yeah. We can talk about equipping her with the Goggles of Night. Swiftfoot Boots. That is a real card. I'm not going to drop the Mana Leak. I'm going to make him use it. Burgeoning. I don't care about Burgeoning. Like, yeah, that... Okay, yep, it did literally nothing. Excellent. That's what we like to see. If they're out of cards in hand, then, like, fantastic. Oh my god. Oh my god. This person scooped as soon as they saw that the, as soon as they saw that Arena was giving me priority, it's like, fuck, they have a counterspell. I'm fucking out of this. Fuck you. And like, you know that I'm a blue deck holding up open mana, right? Right? Also, like, again, there are just so many decks where bridging doesn't do anything. It's not an auto-include. Like, it can be a very strong card in the right context, but that context ain't here. I guess Tetsuko also holds a lot of the curiosity effects really good. That's probably a good reason to run her. Witherbloom the Balancer. Oh, I think we got our teeth kicked in by Witherbloom and another matchup. Memory Lapse, Wan Shitan. Significantly worse on the draw. But if they go Mana Dork, I can bounce it with Into the Flood. Okay, yeah, excellent. That's exactly what we're going to do then. We're going to go Into the Flood, bounce that Halfling, so that way their option is like, not. Okay, good. They're not going to be able to tempo into a Rampant Growth right here. That's what you want to see. Drop the land, pass. Wanchiton will draw us cards and grow every time they search their deck. Yep. Raucous Audience is just a mana dork. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may sack if you do destroy target artifact or enchantment. This is counter target spell. If it's counter, put it on top. Right now they're trying to curve out. I think this is a good spot to Memory Lapse. Yep, they can go ahead. They played a Delighted Halfling. I could go Banner, Halt into Spectral Sailor. What's likely to happen is they're going to redraw the Flax Intruder. This is 4 mana, 5 mana. If they have another land, they could just go into Witherbloom, but Witherbloom's uncounterable anyway. So what I want to do is I want to play this as your Beast Binder. And then hold up Spectral Sailor. I'm not holding up Wan Shitan in case they have like any search spells to go for, but I feel like their priority is going to be resolving their commander here. Oh, okay, so they just have Fatal Push to deal with the Beast Binder, sure. Ooh, I will actually take this trade all day, every day. Because now their commander goes back to costing more. I can play the Banner. We'll play the Banner. Now, what is this? You may sacrifice the Flaxen Intruder when you destroy target artifact or enchantment. It's a 1/2. Wanchiton is a 1/1, so they might go main phase search. Nope, they'll just go ahead and do that now. Chatterstorm for extra squirrels. Sure. I've got this Mockingbird that I can use to copy their dragon. Okay, good, good, good. I'm not just like getting in the way of the stack. And then I can even use the Mockingbird to copy. Any creature with mana value less than or equal to the amount of mana spent to cast, except it's a bird. Quick copy. The Witherbloom is an 8-cost card. Witherbloom lets them cast like really big spells too. And it's just like a 5/5 Death Toucher. I guess I leave Umezawa back to block. Oh, Bite Nathassa. That's pretty good. Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and take some draws. Thank you, deck! Yeah, love to see that. You did not love to see that, chat. Did not love to see that at all. Yeah, we're just gonna take it directly on the chin. Oh, wait, shit! They sacrifice the Flex Intruder, they destroy my bite, and I feel really sad because I just drew 2 lands. And... yeah. Okay. Yeah, Rise of the Dark Realms is a pretty good one to run with that type of a commander. I don't hate Tetsuko as the commander here. I would just like a little help finding some of the answers that we need. The only counterspell we kept in there was the Memory Lapse, but we were able to use that to buy ourselves an extra turn. The Bident, drawing dead on both hits sucks. Well, what can you do? I guess if I considered the fact that the Goldilocks could actually blow it up, maybe I should have left Tesco back and only attacked with Washington. But also, if we can draw another creature off that Bident, then we're not punished. I don't know. We ended up rolling the dice. I just didn't do it consciously. Like, I just kind of went, okay, I need two spells immediately. I need something. Because, like, if I hit a Unable to Scream, and I hit that onto the Witherbloom as well, that also works. That but follows us, even if we end up losing the Bident. But then the thing blows it up anyway. Future Droid, Architect, Counterspell, Mana Leak, out of insignificance. That's worth holding up against a Galta Primal Hunger, which is literally just going to be big fat-ass creatures deck in order to make Galta, like, turbocharged. So I'm going to have this Architect going, and then we're just going to have to hold up, like, response after response and hope we draw into a draw engine. The Fugitive Droid counters target spell that targets an artifact or creature you control. Only counter spells. You know, funnily enough, if you wanted to fill out a requirement for casting a lot of spells, you kind of need to play a control deck, I think. Like, yeah, you can jam a ton of games quickly by playing aggro decks. But then you don't actually cast that many spells, and then you have to spend more time, like, in waiting. But if you're in a control match, you just get to, like, jam. 2 on top, on the bottom. Get to draw in a Fanatic of Ronus. Drop this island. End turn. I will just counter the Fanatic because that is just, like, really big mana. I'm not going to get a lot of opportunities to convert this Mana Leak, especially early on. Spell Pierce is pretty good. They scooped. They scooped. See, I cast 2 spells. 2 spells when we're trying to convert, like, dailies or casting blue spells. But in some of these matches, like, it just gets decided way too quickly to actually, like, get all that. Which, like, you know, I'm not complaining about, you know, the winning side of that. It sucks when it's on the losing side, obviously. I'm not going to complain about, you know, the winning side, and I'll only try to like, contain my complaints about the losing side of it to a minimum. Yo, this is a bop. What is this? Oh, this is the Nova Drift. This is Seraphim's Yamat. 5-color dragons. Probably. Malcolm, Brazen Bard, Grazilex. We're on the play, which makes this significantly better. I would really want to find some sort of interaction, but we have Malcolm and Curiosity to help us dig. Plus a Prismatic Vested to potentially, like, get back a... We grab a Mystic Sanctuary. We've got some options here. And a Sea Dasher Octopus. Cool. Sea Dasher Octopus can mutate onto Malcolm, so that way Malcolm draws cards there too. Kind of depends on what we hit next, because I could also just go with Grazilex. But if I use the Curiosity, that gives me a better chance of hitting... Ah, shoot. Well, yep, that's a fatal push from Malcolm. That's bad for me. Daze helps. Daze helps a bit. I could drop Tetsuko. I could also drop the Sea Dasher Octopus. I'm probably going to have to drop the Sea Dasher Octopus. But it'll be a little harder to push through. Spelunking. How do I feel about that? I think that a 5-color deck, we want as much tempo as possible. You know what? Actually, let that happen. And then we're going to go ahead and bounce it back to their hand, so that way the land does not come into play. Untapped. And then we'll just hold that Daze for, like, Tiamat or whatever else big thing is going to happen. Fairy Seer? I like Fairy Seer into Mutate Sea Dasher Octopus, especially since I can now Scry. Roar Disruption, no, and no Island. I'm trying to find, like, hard counter magic. Maybe the Brazen Borrower could have been used to, like, bounce a big dragon or something. Yep, they get to go ahead and they get to put in the Spelunking. This is 7 mana to resolve, and either dragons are going to be, like, 5, I guess. Got 2 dragons. Into the north. Gonna let that one go. Oh, right, and then they get it untapped, too. Yep, and they get Maelstrom. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I want Thunder for Tetsuo purposes. This is going to be a draw too. Not ideal. I am in hot water. 3, that's 8. Yep. I didn't stop the early ramping, and now we're gonna be dark. Oh. Eaten by piranhas doesn't even help here. Fight it. I'm gonna save myself the trouble because they're just gonna spend like. They're gonna play Tiamat. They're gonna search for like a bunch of dragons, maybe even use like the Dragon Storm Omniscience, and I just don't want to sit through that. If I had countered the Spelunking like I'd originally considered, they wouldn't have gotten tempo from being able to ramp and chain spells together. But instead I tried to get cute by bouncing the Spelunking when I forgot that it had an ETB effect that they were going to get immediate value out of. Yeah, I can't forget that. Because then they still get a land. If I'd remembered the ETB, I would have kept it to the Daze plan. It is what it is, though. Not always going to be firing at 100% capacity, especially when you're just jamming games. There goes Storm Renderer. This is the one that draws them cards whenever tokens leave the field. Fading Hope, Spell Pierce, Flare, Grazilex, Force of Will. This is a good hand. It's going to rely on Tetsuko to be the aggressor, because we're going to use Grazilex to help reload our hand. And then I don't want to use Flare of Denial, but we may end up getting to a position where we have to. Force of Will backup, Spell Pierce. I might even like Force of Will pitch Spell Pierce. because I can't keep hold open spell pierce. Yeah, we'll just go ahead. We'll start with the island. Did they go like turn 1 thoughts? Scalding Tarn is, this is not how I want to use it, but I will use it this way. Pass the turn. Force the Plowshares. We'll go ahead and pitch the Flare of Denial, actually. Kind of what we're expecting. If I get to untap, then I'm fine, even if I have to... Nope. Nope. That sucks. Unable to scream, doesn't do anything, unfortunately. At least I can utter insignificance. Making a note too. And value 3 or less, so we do get to grab new island. That's what we want to see. As much as I want to hold a backup for my cards, I just don't have the luxury to do that right now. I did get him to use like 2 pieces of removal already, just trying to fight Tetsuko. Butcher the Horde. That is fine by me. Ooh, actually. There's a thought. We got Mystic Sanctuary right here. And utter insignificance. I'm gonna put that Force of Will on top. I've got Map, which would make me grow. Got Map, which would make me... Then... I'm gonna go ahead and attack. They're gonna block, like, no matter what. But now I can... find that. Utter insignificance, the Butcher the Horde, so that way it's just... small. I'll hold up Spell Pierce back up. And then we can talk about playing Tetsuko again next turn. If they want, they might go for the Morbid Opportunist and then play a kill spell, because that would draw them a new spell, basically a cantrip. Surprisingly intricate game right now. Goblin Bombardment. Hell no. Goblin Bombardment is a free sack outlet that kind of turns into them just like having everything forever. Force of Will does nothing. I can unable to scream. I could unable to scream. And I think I need to do that. Mausoleum Wanderer, I will leave on top because I need something to pair with the Force of Will to play Tetsuko on the next turn. And any blue card will work. Yep, there's the Morbid Opportunist. Last card is a Blood Art, so right now we might have turned the corner on this. Because now Tetsuko's on board. Got this Force to pitch the Mausoleum Wanderer. And we can just sneak on through. They can... Ooh, Yaheni. Yaheni is also a sack outlet. I need to force that. Because then they can sack Zurgo. Zurgo gets unlocked. Ooh, Network Disruptor. That's fine by me. Ponder. Love to see a Ponder. Mana Leak, Spell Snare, Snare Master Sprite. Nah, give me a shuffle. Memory Lapse, that's a good one. Network Disruptor. I think just for the fact that I want to set myself up better. in case like something happens to Tesco, I can still get in with the network disruptor. I'm not attacking with the Grazlix because they just chump block with Zergo. And we have this memory lapse to buy us another time, depending on like how relevant that spell is. Toxic Deluge. Yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll put that on top. So they have to Toxic Deluge again next turn if they want to actually use it. Which is great for our clock. Oh, that is amazing. Love to see that. Counterspell is exactly what you want to see. So yeah, they'll go ahead. They can cast it again. It's going to drain their life again to do it. Basically, we're just trying to make sure that we can dig for ways to keep them from unlocking Zergo. As long as we keep them from unlocking Zergo, they literally don't play Magic. Ooh, Mischievous Catgeist. This is a card that gets a lot better with Tetsuko because Tetsuko makes the cat unblockable. I guess I want to keep at least one land in my hand for brainstorm purposes. Well, we've already used the Mystic Sanctuary, so that's no good. I'll play this Rainforest in case I find something I want to use to shuffle, like a brainstorm. Woo! That got a little dicey. I really didn't know we were going to be able to survive that original end state, or the initial onslaught, especially after Tetsuko ate that Get Lost. But being able to counter both the Goblin Bombardment and the Yeheni, huge. Absolutely huge. Either one of these would have just like ruined our day, and then having a timely counterspell for a Deluge as well just worked out. Magic giveth, magic taketh, and then it giveth right back. Oh, sweet, that knocked out our dailies. Doki? Detect Intrusion. This is the Spider Sense card from the Spider-Man set. Counter target instant spell, sorcery spell, or triggered ability. There's a place for that here. The in this Curiosity deck. Actually, hold on. Show me the Curiosity deck real quick. Yeah, I'm not playing like stock up or anything like that because I do just want to play like every coastal piracy effect that I can get my hands on. There are some that I'm not running that I probably could be running. Grazlix, Dreadnought, Brazen Borrower, Signet. Just like some additional card flow with the sprites. Navigator. Invisible Stalker. I don't actually need Invisible Stalker when I have Tetsuko as my commander. That's it. Mastermind, Eaten by Piranha, Day, Beastbinder, Cat, Goggles of Night. These types of cards right here are the cards that I have just been kind of enamored with. Yeah, Tome of Gadwick and Goggles of Night. I've been kind of enamored by those. I've really been wanting to give those a go. You could run if you ran Grazalex as the commander, that would be fine. In fact, I think I've definitely seen a few Grazalex commanders that they just get Grazalex on board with like a little fairy, and then it feels like they pull so far ahead. With Tesco though, we could probably even run like the Ninja though. We could probably run Scry Ninja, and that would be better. The Snare Master Sprite, I don't know. Creatures. Little creature light. Maybe just a little bit lighter than what you would normally want. We're running Aetherize for those aggro kickbacks. Doesn't do anything against Trollocs until they get like their big condition out, but that's fine by me. Thinking. Got like all the counter spells on creatures in here. At least the ones with evasion. Like this diversion unit. Octopus, player deny, borrower. Just like all the ways to draw cards. Yeah, we don't need the Oculus for. I put Boomerang Basics is too crazy here. The Curious Inquiry is actually kind of a nombo, weirdly enough, because it buffs, and that means that the power and toughness of a creature no longer works. The tome gives +1 power, but Tetsuko says power or toughness. That's fine, I think. I'm willing to play. There's also just like the Harmonized Trio, but I don't know that that works because I just want to be attacking with stuff. Yeah, Grand would get like additional attacks in. Why? But all of our creatures should have evasion anyway. There is the Mantle of the Tide, but again, it just messes up the stats. Stats is no. Still think. Gotta go for like keep efficient. No, we don't want to put it on the Astral Spear would like get bigger over time. I could just look up Jitsu and I might. I guess there is also just like literally chart a course. Just like draw 2. You know, I don't mind running. This is a 2-mana draw 2. I think we've seen that flow state is a. Actually, hold on. Let me. Gotta modify the using the app real quick. Where are my? I love the Wilds of Eldring. The Wilds of Eldring sleep. Helga Skittish Seer. So this is going to be creature deck. If you can stop Helga, like, you're not really that worried. Got 3 lands, a Mastermind, Memory Lapse. So we even have like redundancy in case they drop a Delighted Halfling, I was going to say. We'll go Utter Insignificance on their turn, I guess. Yep, that's Avacyn's Pilgrim, rather than Helga. I can't cast Memory Lapse either. Spell Pierce, pass the turn. This is whenever you cast a creature spell, mana value 4 or greater, that you draw a card in game, and then she gets a counter. They could also just, like, literally play big creatures. Like, they don't have to play Helga right now. They're really ahead on tempo. Nylea. Here's a creature spell. He also reveals cards. Does a creature put in your hand, otherwise you may put it into your graveyard. That's a 3-mana sink every turn. I think I let that go. Yeah, I think I let that go. We're gonna go ahead and play our Mastermind, take our turn. Draw. Great. Now we can drop Grazilax. Try and start drawing there. But I'm gonna hold off. The Scalding Tarn can now grab Mystic Sanctuary. See what they decide to do with this. Ooh, you hate to see that. Hydroid Crisis has a cast trigger, so it's just going to be a 5/5 Flying Trampler. I can memory lapse, but then they get to reuse it on the next turn. Don't like that. I could memory lapse it and make it so that way that's what they redraw. But then it's still like a... If I enchant it, it's still a 5/5. That's... I think I just have to let that go? I could use Tetsuko. No. I get to redraw here. I don't draw a counterspell. They have a 5/5. I'm gonna take my turn. Wash away. That's pretty good. Now we play Tetsuko. I think we play Tetsuko. I have 2 mana open. I can Insignificance. I can Memory Lapse if I need to. I can't do everything I want, but we can stop Helga from washing away. Arena has that thing where it like messes with the... Oh yeah, that is absolutely a card that we need to not let resolve. Although given the mana that they left, nope, they're just gonna on top. Okay, that wash away has to be used now. Oh right, and they just like have a 5/6 on board now. Yep, that's 10 damage. That's a lot of damage. Okay, so I need to stop this Grey Hinge. I need to stop Helga. I'm going to take another 10 on the next turn. Okay. This doesn't stop everything. Like, we are just gonna get punched in the mouth. My priority might, in fact, be a little messed up. Yep, take another 10. No blocks. How do we get out of this one, chat? I can Mystic Sanctuary. That doesn't help me. Play Grazilex. Go. Why did I attack with both? I didn't need to do that. Now I have to like block with Grazilex. Fucked up. Helga even like potentially do anything. The Gem Razor is also a problem. I mean, I've got Fading Hope. I've got Flare of Denial, I guess. Intruder Alarm, so that they can go infinite. Sure. Like, yeah, pass the block. I have to block here. I can go Fading Hope, bounce the Crisis, which is awful for me. Think about it. And then that actually saves Grazilex. Okay. I'm trying so hard to think about how we get out of this. It's not impossible, but okay. Yeah, we gotta counter that. Back Tesco. Chart a course as long as we have attacked. They can attack with Helga. I can also go Scaldy turn into Mystical. A wash away. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab Mystic Sanctuary. Put the wash away on top. Then we get to go to combat, attack in, they block with Helga. Use Helga, they can replay Helga. That untaps all the mana dorks. It really just matters that I attacked. So let's go ahead and bounce Grasslex to hand. This does untap. Yeah, I've got 7. Got 7. Ghostly Pilferers, not bad. Ghostly Pilferers, not bad at all. Then pass the turn. Pass the turn. You can still wash away the Crisis. Augusto on board. You have Ghostly Pilfer as well. We got him down to like 9. We can just like get this last little push. We can make it work. A Shia, that would turn everything into a mana dork. They knew that they were playing into the wash away, so their solution is to play the Crisis for 1, maybe? Only got 7. So I can play Tetsuko to make things unblockable and Grasslex. How much do I care about this Spell Pierce if I need to, like, Ghost Pilfer my way through it? Okay, yeah, they're gonna go ahead and draw 0. They get a 1/1. That untaps all their dorks. The important thing is that, you know, Nylea is online again. I guess. Means that maybe I use the Mastermind to block. Ooh, that's gonna be trample. That is, yeah, okay. I needed to like not take 2 turns in a row. Oh, how could I have navigated that a little differently? Maybe I could have used counter magic on Nylea. Keep in mind that she is a creature when they have devotion. Grotha. This counters instants and sorceries. Sprite digs, Force of Will, protection. Majotha lets them play stuff from the graveyard. It's a little bit of a slower deck. It's kind of mid-rangey. Witness Protection, Arcane Signet. We don't like have any draw power, but we have this Nightveil Sprite to help out with that. Yeah, we can use the Nightveil Sprite out here. Beans. That is... That's a card that will just, like, outvalue us eventually. It means that we don't trade neatly with the Muldrotha by any stretch of the imagination. But right now, I just really need to get cards going. Theoretically, we can keep up with the Beanstalk. If we find any sort of card advantage, we can keep up with it no problem. They have to hit a threshold before they start using Beans. Yep, okay, so they get Birds of Paradise. Ledger Shredder is going to help us out here. No Dark Rit into Agent, thank you very much. I want... Here's Signet, and you know what? I'll play the diversion unit instead. For drop the goggles or drop the Sprite. I think it's drop the Sprite. And then I might need to pitch the goggles over to Force, but I'd rather not. These goggles are going to be part of how we keep up. Oh, so it's just actual factual Lily, huh? I am gonna pitch Witness Protection. I'm gonna do something crazy. I'm gonna pitch Wash Away. Like, I'm just stopping the value engine of the... Oh, the daze is huge, actually. Yep. So, here's Goggles of the Night. Go ahead. Equip it to the Ledger Shredder. And we get the Scry one. Draw a card. I am looking for answerable replacements. That works past the turn. I can use Daze, counter the Muldrotha. Even though they do draw a card, we're still getting tempo out of it. Like, they've drawn 3 cards off the Beanstalk. But we are currently not winning the exchange race. The Burning Rune Demon is... You know what? Hold on, do they have any islands in play? They... I guess I had this diversion unit in case they have a Force of Will. Oh my god! That's enough to skip... I don't understand that. They have up the Beanstalk in, and yes, I have countered 2 of their cards. I've got like 2 cards left. I guess I've got Ledger Shredder and with Goggles of Night. But you're winning the value race, right? Like, you resolved up the Beanstalk, and that makes fighting a control deck, even if a deck that it's just like a deck pilling like this, I'm not going to keep up with that. In fact, it feels really, really bad to let this resolve, because out of both of these spells that you cast, you got to redraw it, and you can just force through Muldrotha. Every time you cast your commander, you get to draw a card out of a free card. So, like, I'm a little ahead on tempo, but unless you just have, like, straight dead cards, which I guess that's entirely possible. If they have straight dead cards, then they might just say, you know what, fuck this shit, I'm out. In which case, I guess, you know, perfectly understandable, perfectly understandable. Have a nice day. But I feel like you still have time to draw out of this. Then again, it's not like I haven't done my fair share of early scooping, so... Alright, it's also 3 o'clock, so we need to switch over to Final Fantasy now. Alright. What chores to do? I need to... Yeah, I need... Yo, tell me what you want, what you really want. I'll tell you what I want, what I really want. What I want it, what I want it, what I want it, what I want it. 3 p.m. Pacific time zone bias. I mean... You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Lucky. Let's see. So we gotta stay on top of the Moogle chores. We have PvP that we need to take care of. I finished Wondrous Tales over the weekend, just kind of doing whatever. Other than that, though... I think we're good to go. I did the weekly hunts as well. I need to get back to do weekly hunts. Get back to doing fashion report. Just some small things to help fill those time gaps. It's really the Wondrous Tales that's been filling gaps, and here we are. Here we are at Chateau Phantom Knights. Gotta go clock in at the Moogle factory. You'd think that that'd be the factory where they make Moogles, but no, it's where the Moogles make you. Also... Alright, so that's not gonna... Also... Back to the right. Crisscross. Go ahead and put it back down. Maybe it makes things feel just a wee bit crowded. It's whatever. I only got like 4 Aetheryte tickets. I bought a bunch of writing maps. So that's going to be the main reason why we need to start doing our weekly hunts again. I actually just completely forgot that those were a thing for a while there. We've had instances where it's like, you know, we have a few minutes to like do something. I don't know I can't think of what to do though. Now we just have them back again. So when we finish up early, there's take care of. We could just do the fashion report. Daughter or man? Oh, this is lighting up the statues. Okay. Yeah. It's tragic. It's tragic, chat. I bought stewing meat last week, so that way I could make curry. I like making Japanese curry. And... Okay. Bought stewing meat for curry, and it went bad. It went bad before I had a chance to use it. I got it last Tuesday with the intent on using it on Monday, but I didn't realize that it said use by May 8th. So now I kind of just have to have a policy of buying the fresh meats and whatnot the day that I plan to use them, which, you know, it's not the worst I get. I should be making an effort to head out, do a bit of walking. I should be making an effort to get out of my room so I don't turn into a sad zoo animal. But at the same time, though, like being disabled means that sometimes you just can't really muster up. You just want to on the couch. Like it turns into like a 20-minute walking trip, which isn't a lot. Come on, you just finished a day of work. Do you really want to go out shopping too? Perhaps the true function of these statues has been lost to time. The men and dragons of the Peaceful Age had been known to make instruments that were really useful to both. I leave it to you Moogles to investigate whether it can be useful to you as well. For now, my throat is spent. Let us return. Ship of Dreams. This is where we make a toy boat for all of the little dragonling. Society quest accepted. Makes me wonder how the other quest is going. The other quest is going. I haven't had a chance to play the game since I checked in last time. That is to say, to let everyone know that I got to meet Veronica, who is, you know, very clearly telegraphed as the next party member. Because like Sundays I also wanted but like I'm enjoying the game so far. Gotta make a toy boat. You're literally gonna make a toy airship for these baby dragons. And they're going to yeet it off into the abyss and go follow it. Like, it's actually pretty great. Imagine having the quickness and agility in the air to just yeet a toy back and forth like a football and just be like, it's flying, it's flying. And then like even being able to do it themselves. I don't even know what class Veronica is yet. I just know that she says that she is a sage, which I'm going to assume means that she's either a cleric or a witch. Like either a cleric or a wizard. Guess I'll just have to wait and see. It's also just like funny because Veronica's introduction has her speaking so maturely. Like her manner of speech is very obviously not the manner of speech that a child would have, especially since you literally have a child in the Steam house that you have to reunite with a parent later on. And then everyone's like, "Hey, you know, you're a kid. You're a kid. You're a kid. You shouldn't be in the bar. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out, kid." Like, it's really, really obvious after you listen to her for, like, just a couple of panels of dialogue that she's had something happen to her. She's had some sort of, like, curse or whatever. Or maybe she's like a Cagliostro where she's intentionally made herself younger with, like, the fountain youth or something like that. I don't actually want to know yet. I'm just voicing thoughts out loud. That's her in her adult form during the intro scene. Honestly, I don't know that I would have necessarily made the connection, but I'm going to be looking for that next time. Also, it still feels like it still feels a little weird to me to be playing a Dragon Quest game that actually has characters and lines and stuff. I know that Sun Wan, the voice actor guy, you know, ProZD, I know he loves the Dragon Quest games that don't have characters that are just like blank slates and they're there for you to fill in while you go and do whatever. But I also like that part. A part of me wishes that like I could play Baldur's Gate with literally just my own Blorbos. I would do character creation and I would literally play 4 Blorbos all at once. It's part of what I liked about Dragon Quest 3. At the same time though, like you can just like tell a story actually character. It's funny because that's been like the main chafing point between trying to play various other RPGs. I think that was one of the chafing points when I was playing Xenoblade Chronicles originally. Go ahead and make it. Especially with the, actually, I think, I'm going to revise that. I think when I'm playing an RPG that has a customizable aspect to it, I do kind of like having the blank character slate. That is what Hero is in Dragon Quest XI, and like most of the Dragon Quests I wager. Can't say for sure. I've only ever played 3 and 11 at this point. And then having the rest of the cast basically be characters, and I'm just like along for the ride, and I'm hanging out with my friends. That part's easy enough for me. That's literally what Final Fantasy XIV is. But then get into scenarios like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, where everyone is a named character, But then it also has things like, hey, you can roll for all these different blades, and all these blades have personalities, and you can use whichever ones you like best, or whichever ones best fit the situation. And I go, well, now I don't want to use any of them, because like in a game like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, where each character is a partner with a blade, I'm like, but these are the canon blades, and these are the canon partners, and that's all I want to play with for a quote canon run. And then if there are like any other blades, I want them to feel like my blade, except they're not, because now Rex or someone else is using them. I don't know. It's just like super autistic stuff. Meanwhile, if everyone in the party is a Blorbo, then it's like, I am having fun. Having fun with my Blorbos. We're playing Tomodachi Life RPG Maker here. But you don't get as much scaffolding. Maybe that is true. Maybe it is better to have like just one standing character, so that way you can project onto them if you really want to, and then a bunch of supporting cast to help you bounce off of and define your role. That's how most RPGs tend to be, isn't it? Like the Persona series and all that. Not a lot of them have defined personalities, or maybe they do. And Fron is gonna waltz in here like any second to be like, actually, hero, that's actually the minority or whatever. Luminary is sort of a blank slate, just not too customizable. I mean, yeah, but also the Luminary is like, the Luminary can only ever be a guy. And I have like gender issues with that. If you're gonna make a blank, okay, here's my take. If you're going to make a blank slate character, at least give us at least 2 genders. I'm not, that's like a bare minimum, right? That's a bare minimum. Give us at least 2 genders. Give us a male protagonist. Give us a female protagonist if you're gonna go do that. Unless it's like somehow very explicitly important to the story. But at that point, if like the gender of your protagonist is explicitly important to the story, then I think we have other issues to talk about than the customization of your character. The only reason to gender lock your character like that is if you have a defined character that you want to tell a story with, like with Rex from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. If you're going to do a Persona, if you're going to do a Final Fantasy, if you're going to do a Dragon Quest, and you want the player, like anybody who plays the game, to put themselves into the role of the protagonist in here, just give us a bare minimum of 2 genders. I'm not even asking for like the super advanced stuff, although I guess non-binary, that's your pronouns. Basically, actually, you know what? Let's take that a step further and say, if you want to make a character like just customizable, like you want blank slate character, like sure, give us 2 or 3 character designs to pick from, and then let us pick pronouns, and then see, there's no issue with that whatsoever. Like it doesn't solve gender issues forever or anything like that, but it should be the bare minimum. This is the Bechdel test. This is the Bechdel test of game gender design, right? The point isn't that anything that passes the Bechdel test is inherently feminist. Just like anything that has like at least 2 gender options for blank slate protagonists is inherently gender positive or anything like that. It's just, this is literally the bare minimum, and you are not meeting that standard in this category. Which, like, people can choose to ignore that, but I am also allowed to critique them. Why I liked the Saints Row series over GTA. Other than the original game, every Saints Row game lets you make your character male, female, or somewhere in between. Yo, that's sick as fuck. That's sick as fuck. I've also never played a Saints Row game. Is it like GT5 or GTA? I think GT5, but wait, hold on. Was GT5 the one that everyone was waiting for or not? Also, by the way, chat, I haven't had a chance to actually like show this off yet. But like, check it out. Eat chicken emote. I hate it. I hate it so much. She looks like she's in so much pain from like they turned Thamora into an infomercial girl. And it doesn't even loop. It doesn't even loop. Oh, we lost connection there? 1 second. GTA 5 is the one that has spanned 3 console generations? Right, yeah, and GTA 6 is the one that keeps getting put off. Right. But like, I'm going to assume that Saints Row's a GTA-like, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know what you would actually call the genre of game that Grand Theft Auto is. Maybe it's like, is it, would you call it immersion sim? Is it immersion sim like the like Vampire Masquerade if you could do a bunch of stuff, or is it just like a big sim? Like, obviously there's guns, obviously there's cars and heisting and stuff like that. Obviously there's missions, but is it like just an adventure game or what? GTA 6 is supposed to come out near the end of the year. I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it. Like, no shade to the developers, but they've been working on that one for a while, from what I hear. Saints Row is similar, but more absurd. How like, absurd how? Oh. There we go, there's Frontlines pop. Yeah, I'm gonna start buying stuff from now on. I'm not gonna buy like vegetables or small portion meats unless I plan to use them like the next day. Just buy them immediately. Make a list of what I need. Go get it fresh. Take a break. That. Saints Row 3 introduced a giant purple dildo bat as a weapon. Okay, you know what? I'm on board. I'm on board. This sounds like a series I need to try at least once. Not like immediate future, but like definitely needs to go on the list. Actually, I wonder if we have it. I don't want to check it out just yet. Not while we're going in. Sure. Like, PvP is already gonna apparently gonna just like eat up all my processing power for some goddamn reason. Maybe it's all the special effects. Maybe it's all the thunderbolts and lightning going around. Ooh, yeah. Some people are still loading up. Which is a shame, because usually what I like to do is try them on for myself. Oh, I actually like that a lot. That's got a bit of a Sarah Connor look to it, doesn't it? Like Sarah Connor via Terminator 2, not Sarah Connor Terminator 1. What is that, the Skywalker singlet? Yeah, I think I can actually get that from the Miss Guardian Restoration. The only knock against the Saints Row series is that the original game is an Xbox 360 exclusive. Everything else is multi-platform. I think that works out though. Like, to start with, I have a 360, so I'm not lacking for the actual means to play it. And then for everything else, there is just like, you know, MasterCard. And even then, I don't know that I'm going to be focusing too hard on trying to play them in a row. So here's what I've decided, right? Last year, when Final Fantasy came out with its Magic set, there were a few people, my friend Vin included, saying things like, you know, I'm going to go ahead and stream all of the Final Fantasy games in a row, or I'm going to play all the Final Fantasy games in a row, starting from 1 and all that. And what I realized was, that is absolutely one way to play it. I think the way that I would prefer to play it, though, is... First of all, I don't want to die. Second of all, I think the way what I would prefer to do is play maybe not the most recent game, but certainly the most favored in the series. Just wouldn't recommend Saints Row 2 on PC. Notoriously buggy. Holy sh! I want to play Skyrim, but I've heard that after finding out how fucked up the modding scene is, I'm like, ooh, I really hope Nyx can help me with figuring out the best mods to go after here. Oh, we got yelled. Minor lines. Go kick their ass. Ooh. Super buggy. Like, okay. Like, I'm gonna play Skyrim, but it's funny because Skyrim is the 5th game in the Elder Scrolls, right? So, for some people, I can see it like, oh, you know what? I'm not gonna play Skyrim. I'm gonna go ahead and play all the Elder Scrolls games in a row, which I guess includes Oblivion and Oblivion's either like the 3rd or the 4th one, so like, you know, whatever the opposite that would be. But then again, like, most people don't even know about Oblivion or the other ones. They just know Skyrim, so they would start with Skyrim anyway. Has there been a 6th one? I don't know that there has been. Pushing metal? Anyway, so I guess playing through chronologically makes sense from just a, you know, enjoying the history portion of it. Finn was also doing that with Fire Emblem. She started playing Shadow of the Dragon. I can't remember if she was playing the I hope it's... But like, I don't think that's for me. I mean, I started playing Fire Emblem with the 7th one. As long as they're, you know, self-contained stories, it's fine. We're obviously doing that with Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy got blown apart the second I picked up 14. So it's like, well, you know, we were never actually going to be able to do Final Fantasy in a row, given that 14 is literally 13 games after the first one. But it's also not what I would call representative of the series by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, no, that may now there's actually a stretch of imagination with that. So think about it. Because then you're thinking about the warrior dead. I think got it. What am I even trying to say right now? I think what I'm trying to say is that what I probably want to do, if I'm going to check out a new series or a new genre of game, is I'm going to try and pick up the one that has the better of the reputations and offers probably the better of the gameplay. Like Hollow Knight was a really good one for that. Hollow Knight is just a really good game, and makes me feel better about trying a specific style of Metroidvania. Ender Lilies was another one. Ender Lilies was actually probably the first Metroidvania I ever played. And it just kind of made the genre accessible. Meanwhile, I have a whole backlog of Final Fantasy games that I want to play and check out. But I'm not even playing like the best one. I'm actually playing the one that most people would be like, eh, just because it's got Squall. Well, I'm also doing it because Prawn got it from me. Okay, we gotta like. Guess what are we supposed to do? Like, I'm looking at this map and we just don't have a clear direction to work with right now. We're currently in 3rd place. We're behind by like 300 points. You have Ender Lilies, but it's yet to be played. Ender Lilies is a good one. It's fairly short and sweet. Like, as far as games go, I didn't put a lot of hours into it. I want to say it was like 20-ish hours. Maybe 30 on the top end. But I was also streaming it, so, you know, take that for what it is. Like, the secrets aren't as obtuse as something like a Hollow Knight. It doesn't have, like, any major platforming challenges. Basically, you're just getting the combat experience of, in a combat and exploration portion of a Metroidvania. Then again, that's the majority of your library. Yeah, see? That's why we're doing this, though. Or at least part of it. We're trying to, like, you know, foster that community, help each other finish the game type thing. Because I notice it's a lot easier to be excited and to log in. Well, I say log in, but, like, you know, start the game. You know. It's a lot easier to keep momentum with a game when you have people to talk to and hear. Fierce. Right behind. Ooh. Oh, we're slowly getting. Okay, so I think that's what'll help you push through DQ11. I hope so. I genuinely hope it does. Because RPGs are currently one of my favorite genres in games we play. And that's because really the only thing that hurts their ability to be finished is just the consistency once you reach the mid-game. Once you reach the mid-game of an RPG, it's very easy to feel kind of plateaued out. I.e., you've seen like just about everything. You're not getting the rapid advancement anymore. So the endorphins aren't there. It's very much an ADHD problem of you picked up something new and something fun, and it's asking you to put in more time than you could be spending on something maybe a little more familiar that you have more depth on already. For me, I think that starts hitting around the 20-hour mark of a game. And so you really just gotta find a way to push through the 20-hour mark in order to get just that much deeper into a game that might have that block otherwise. Like DQ8, the 3-act story thing that throws you off is the credits roll once you clear the 2nd act. That is odd. That's very odd. Okay, so like we need to beat down Yellow. Let's go ahead and like Yellow's currently ahead. I guarantee you Red is complaining about us in chat right now. Being like, why is Blue attacking us? They need to be focusing on Yellow. Oh well. We're right there. We need combat. Currently loading up. Yep, Red's going in. And we got it, so let's get out of here. Is what I would normally say, but... You No, we got like 3 guys. That's fine. Peel off. Peel off. Third act is like an epilogue new game sort of thing. You get an ending after the second act that you satisfied with, but you want to keep going, then there's more. I was gonna ask if it was like a generational thing. Having a third act be the epilogue feels weird though. Like it must be substantially shorter than the main act, if that's the case. We win that team battle. We're still catching up. We're nipping away at red. If we take over the red. Except we gotta get that. Safety enough. I'm definitely going to take my time exploring with Dragon Quest. I really want to just like sit back and enjoy how pretty the scenery is. I'm going to spend some time just like chatting with everyone. If I get to a point where I stop one-shotting the local monsters, I'm going to start grinding on the monsters until I can one-shot them again before I move on. And maybe that'll trivialize some of the boss fights. That's fine. I'm here for a good time. I'm not here for like the challenges TM. But if it's anything like Dragon Quest III, I'm going to assume that there are like secret boss challenges that we can end up doing where it's like, you know, try and beat this super tough boss. Then try and beat this super tough boss within like 20 turns or something like that. That's what I remember being in Dragon Quest III, despite the fact that I never actually saw it for myself. Alright. PvP is all good. We did our Moogle chores. What else do we have to do on the weekly side of it? We do probably at some point want to start working with it again. Yeah, like 99 mana. I should be getting back to doing. What's on the fashion report for this? Bam. Point FR. It's literally leather duckbills? Okay, hold up. Literally leather duckbills, make them cobalt brown dye. So like if I just happen to have them, I think there's a good chance that I just go get ourselves some easy. Coming across Veronica means you're close to where the demo ends. That's a surprisingly long demo. Like I would have thought that the demo would end after the whole repeating the cutscene type thing, but I guess not. Okay, so let's gotta check. I have Bill shoot. Air boots, survival boots, true blue, air cell, long slip. Those duckbill shoes are probably gonna be something. I do not have duckbill shoes. Where? Leather duckbill. Okay, I can like duckbill quick. Leather and some. Who's got leather? Oh, undyed heavy cloth. I can pick that from up. Okay. Got a little bit of a crafting quest that we can go on. Not you, Corey, but I appreciate the hustle. It's hard to. It's hard to see. When was the last time I like played an RPG and really struggled with? Was it like I was playing the Nuzlocke? Might have been. Given that I played the original vanilla version of DQ11 on PS4, I surprised myself by how far into the game I went. Last time I remember playing a demo for Dragon Quest was 8, I think. I remember getting that and being like, why are there like characters? Why are there characters? Wasn't Dragon Quest the game where you just made Borbos the whole time? And remember when we used to get like demo discs in the mail? Remember when they used to come with Game Informer and all that? Those were good times. Yeah, I am so sleepy, Jeff. So sleepy. But, you know, that's just the mark of a day. Hemp. Then what did I need for those duckbills? Other duckbills? Those are some high quality duckbills. I can dye them cobalt brown, I think is what required. God bless the system. Now I don't even have to like think about what colors I'm using. It just all comes from the standard spectrum dye, which we can now farm ad nauseum. We can farm them every time that we go and do the vault. Every time we do the vault, that's like 2 dye. That's like just 2 free dye. We're set for life now. Is that milk? No, that's just a potato and a purple cloth. Gotcha. Dragon Quest has been pretty character driven from the beginning. Well, depends on what you mean by character driven, right? Like if you mean like literally there are characters who are advancing the story, i.e. like the player character and everything like that, then like sure, yeah. If you mean that, you know, you talk to a lot of NPCs and stuff and you are following along those stories, then like sure, yeah. But I'm pretty sure the first 3 Dragon Quest games didn't really have like parties that of people with distinct personalities, you know? Like my understanding was that the first and second Dragon Quest were very much like the third, in that sure, yeah, you might have been interacting with some characters. For the most part, you were making everyone yourself, including in your party. See, we just other duck. Then, as always, party. Cancel that first of all. Then glam up this monstrosity. Congratulations, chat. We're going to the gold saucer to cash in. Possible. Haven't played every Dragon Quest. Didn't come into the series until DQ8 on the PS2. That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying, though. Like, it feels like it's definitely more of a more recent trend in Dragon Quest to spend time developing each of your party members as individual characters rather than just letting the player make them all. Which, on that note, I actually do kind of appreciate that Eric has his own combat tendencies. Like, he automatically fights with you. You don't really have to think about what he's doing. Like, you can, but you don't have to. When it comes to RPGs, Dragon Quest is the only franchise you've played more than one game of. What other franchise have you played? Like, for some reason, you don't strike me as a Persona guy. despite the fact that Persona is like probably one of the more anime of RPG could be playing. We're gonna come back and like get prizes and stuff after we fashion presentation. Although after watching the Two Best Friends video for Persona, it's like, oh right, yeah, that is absolutely something that I want to try at some point. And I keep forgetting which one I should try first. P3, P4, or P5. Original Final Fantasy, Phantasy Star 4, Shining Force, Lunar, Eternal Blue, EQ 8, and 11. That's not a bad selection. Like, I've played, like, most of the RPGs that I've played, I want to say were either Pokemon or Fire Emblem. So, I have had... Not... Like, I've done RPG stuff, but I've said before that that has shaped how my RPG experience has been. Cool, 6... Go back to the center. Okay, go back to the center. I like RPGs, but don't play them constantly. I mean, yeah. Most of the games that I want to try, though, are RPGs. Like, for the longest time, because my primary exposure to RPGs were Pokemon and Fire Emblem, like, I know that this is inherently incorrect. If Fron, if you're listening, I don't necessarily need a... Well, hero. Lots of RPGs did this. I didn't grow up playing, like, Elder Scrolls or anything like that. I just kind of thought that RPGs were just, you do a thing, they do a thing, you play it, you play with your Blorbos or whatever, and you don't really have to worry about the iPod to 6 possible. Basically, I have not had a chance to play like the RPGs that actually are more story-based and get you more invested in role-playing. I guess, strictly speaking, there is the... Like, the Mass Effect series that I did start playing, and then I, like, got to a point where I got stuck, and then I dropped it, and then I came back, and I was like, I don't remember what happened, I should probably start this over from the beginning. And then I did, and I got stuck again. But, like, I didn't even get as far as I did last time. But then you watch H Bomber Guy videos about New Vegas and Pathologic. I want to say it's Pathologic. And you find out like there's some really cool roleplay stuff that have consequences and immersion. You look up videos about Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, and you go, this is cool as shit. This is cool as shit. I want to try this out because this is so unlike any other RPG that you play, where before it was primarily based on just combat mechanics, kind of like a Dragon Quest. Throw Mass Effect in there, depending on how one feels about its status. I mean, like, Mass Effect is an RPG. Don't get it twisted. I got enough of the Gambler Bardane, the Mandervillian Bardane, also here. There's a ton of stuff. Four-armed, Eddie. I don't know the hairstyles. Blackjack is 4 million. Sabotender Ever is 2 million. Fenrir Horn is 1 million. The Fenrir Horn is not for the motorcycle Fenrir, by the way. Yeah, there's still so much stuff I need to get out of the old saucer. I really should be getting back to doing Passion Report. Just double check, make sure that you got all the deck. Yeah, we got all the There's like furniture. start grabbing. Let's go ahead and start grabbing the Bardian, I guess. This Bardian's like 50. Don't think I have a preferred genre in gaming. Looks interesting enough. At least want to give it a try. Yeah, I'm finding that I definitely have preference. And it's so weird. It is so weird to be like, I know that this game is really good. It feels really good to play. But then you're also like, except I'm just not like really into this genre. And part of that is because of how you have to interact with that genre, right? Like the roguelike genre, I needed that with my wife because I'm not really into the repetition of a roguelike. I'm not really into the try all the different builds and stuff unless I have my wife there to help me make decisions. Hold on, who the fuck was that? I saw a nameplate. Who was this? Who was this? They're on my friends list, but I don't recognize them. Who was this? I don't remember this guy at all. Whoever it was, they took off running like they owed you money? Maybe they did, actually. Maybe they did. Oh, I can go ahead and head back now. Then we can talk about, like, plans for the rest of the week. Honestly, send me back to Ishgard, even. Moving back to Ishgard, I can hang out at the Forgotten Knight. And also set myself up for success next time. It's weird. It's so weird feeling like that we've already burned through a bunch of stuff. Like, strictly speaking, we have a whole daily's roulette's worth of stuff that we can take care of. But we don't have that much time. I guess that's also just kind of a consequence of having done some of this stuff off. Like, obviously, if I do stuff off stream, then there's not enough time to do stuff on stream. But sometimes you just want to come up and grind. And then that's where also Dragon Quest XI has been really good. It's part of what makes that specific style of RPG really good, right? Is that I can just chill out, put on a video on my second monitor, and then grind. The best kind of grinding is the grinding where I can shut off my brain and just repeat a specific motion over. I am now to the point in Dragon Quest XI where I can just mash the attack button, and that clears the fight like pretty easily against just like the random mobs. So I guess now we can talk about what the plan is for this week. And right now, the plan for this week. At some point this week, wife is going to return, and we're going to be doing more Nightwing streaming. We're going to try and staple it on top of the daily grind. Last time we did a test run. We did a test run, and that was the whole stream. Next time, it'll be stapled onto the daily grind. At least that's what I believe we're doing. She might be thinking differently, but we are absolutely going to be doing it sometime this week. She's really excited, looking forward to it. We got a couple of more runs in there to try out some of the new characters, try out some of the new tactics. I'm looking forward. Please look forward to that as well. I need to work on that new Fugi like ASAP. I don't know if I'm gonna have time before then, so we'll just have to wait and see. At least she has a Fugi of her own to work with in the meantime. So that's the big thing. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything else that's like huge, right? No. Now, last week we had a good wife time. I made her Rice Krispies. I picked up some fresh marshmallows and some fresh Rice Krispie cereals to make her those Rice Krispie treats. I ended up using near the entire box because I went by the recipe that they have on the official website, and that actually ended up being better than anything I came up with, because this actually fills out an entire tray, and it makes the Rice Krispies nice, fluffy, and thick, which is so much better. I made them a little too packed down, and that made them really dense. And also, I was working with stale cereal for the past couple of months, so there's that too. We also spent an hour watching the first half of Hamilton. I am a fan of the first half of Hamilton. I think it's good stuff, but mostly it's set up for like the second half of the play. There's a lot of, it also makes me kind of pensive because it makes me think about like the point of the Revolutionary War and how America has evolved since then, the Great American Experiment. It makes me think about colonialization and imperialism and how people, us who were fighting for their own freedom, ended up, being at the expense of the indigenous people that already lived here. Like, it just has me thinking about a lot. Grinding is probably what I'm not so great at. Playing DQ8, I would just drag my party along past where I should be level-wise. Characters in danger of dying in regular battles on my way to the next town storyline point. See, like, that's the biggest reason why I felt like I was done playing RPG, and why I didn't want to play RPGs. I didn't want to have to spend a lot of time grinding. And that kind of goes back to what I was talking about last Friday, right? Where it's not that I have to grind, it's that I am going above and beyond because I'm just in the mood to grind. And that makes all the difference. I think giving your player the option to grind is perfect. Because it turns out I am a bit of a grinder. This is the daily grind after all, and what do we do if not grinding? So like, hey, at some point, maybe the daily grind will feature some Dragon Quest XI grinding. just be like, chat, I am exhausted. I'm not feeling up to doing stuff. We're just gonna boot up Dragon Quest XI, and I'm just gonna run around beating the shit out of slimes all day while we hang out and yap. That could be some fun stuff. Real quick, we do have a lead the raid redeem. So folks, if you go ahead and redeem that raid, we'll like to pass on the stream. We'll pass on our community love to someone, but as long as they're cool. Maybe they play MMOs, maybe they're trans, maybe they play card games, something like that. We want to make sure that people are being supported and that we're passing around the support whenever we can. Meantime, I'll go ahead and check to see if there's anyone live that I want to pass things. Always with like the same. See, I know Joe Cat is currently doing his subathon, and like trying to watch more of Joe's streams just because I do like his YouTube content. I want to be a wee bit supportive. I want to get used to like watching streams directly affiliated with. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that, bird? He wasn't even flapping. He just like airwalked. He hovered. He hovered off of my shoulder, off of Thamora's shoulder, and into the air, just like whoop. Wow. U11 is definitely different. You have a luminary at level 10, and I've completed Veronica's search for her sister. Yeah. I think my luminaries are like level 14. Alright, yeah, let's go ahead and raid into Joe. So that way we can show our support during go ahead, raid into that. He's currently streaming Guild Wars 2. But he's also like a big FF14 guy. And then over on the YouTube side, we're gonna go ahead and end things here. So if you're here on the YouTube side, don't forget to drop a like and maybe share the stream with someone who you think you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Baloop. then we will see you all tomorrow. Same hero time, same hero channel.